Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Slay to Success talk show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. Slay to Success is a business where I advise and empower women professionals and organizations to achieve professional success by working with them on their image and their impact by focusing on the ABCDs. That's right. Appearance, behaviors, communication, and digital presence. And tonight, y'all, I have a SLAYMAZING guest. I have my friend, my great friend, and I'll let you know the connection and everything once we get onto the show tonight. But I really am excited about having her here with me because we have reconnected after so many years. And we're going to have a very good conversation. So I know the Olympics is going on. I know there's a lot happening right now. But if you have the time to share with us tonight, we would love for you to join us. So what does slay mean? Slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to dream, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym. The S stands for stay ready to be ready. L, lead out loud. A sense of community. And Y, you are built to last. So if you are here tonight and you're joining us, please, we would love to say, how you doing? What's going on? So just go ahead and put it into the comments. Let us know. I'll give you a shout out. Trying to get the lighting right tonight, y'all, because the lighting's been off a little bit. My husband came through, y'all, and he helped me get these lights together. So I am excited about you being here. We're excited about you being here because this is a place where I bring in women and men and highlight them because they are using the slay philosophies to make a positive impact and a difference in this world. And so I want to just highlight them and bring them on to encourage, to inspire, to empower you to whatever you're trying to do, whenever you're trying to do it. All right. So we're happy that you're here. So let's go ahead and introduce my guest. My guest, her name is Tamara Brown. She is an Air Force veteran who retired after 24 years of service. Tamara is a registered nurse and an entrepreneur who always wanted to own a business. She pursued her goal once she retired from the military, starting not one, but two businesses, y'all. She is a real estate investor and she is the owner of At the Root, an all-natural body care company. She is family focused always, making life choices to ensure they are all happy, healthy, and successful. So I'm going to bring my girlfriend, okay, to the stage. And Tamara.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, y'all, before we even get started, I'll just let you know right away, okay? So you know what kind of show we going to have tonight. All right, Tamara was in our wedding, okay? We've been married for over 20 years now. So she actually drove from, where'd you come from? I think Texas.
Yeah, it was for Texas. Yeah.
Texas to Indiana, y'all. She drove and she was a part of our wedding. She actually recited a poem and it was absolutely beautiful. And my sister, so I talked to Yolanda today and she said, her spirit, I just love her spirit. I was like, I'm going to let her know on the show. So,
awesome. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So thank you so much for being here with me tonight, Tamara. I just feel like we're back when we were in Turkey, our turkey days.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Turkey and Japan days.
I have pictures to prove it.
Yes, we do. Hey, Leslie, thank you so much for being here. Great evening to you, madam. So glad that you came to be a part of our show tonight. Okay, so tell the people a little bit about yourself and kind of like, I guess let's start from when you came into the military, a little bit about the story there, and then getting into the military and some of your journey, because, I know the story, but share some of the storyline and then we'll get started that way.
Okay. Well, coming into the military was not my first choice. I actually played sports in high school, so I wanted to play basketball actually. And I am an Army brat. right? So seeing my dad in the Army, and he was like, well, I was like, I'll never go in the military. And then, um, you know, life happened right then and there, right? So
Mhm.
I wanted a basketball scholarship, and that didn't pan out, and so that was my first sort of lesson in life.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do, and so I was like, well, I can go in the military. I kind of know what the military is about, being my dad was in, and I'm a brat and all. And so yeah, so it started my journey with a couple, recruiters. You're in high school, and recruiters
Mhm.
come and try to talk to you. And so decided on going in the Air Force. And I just, I wanted to, I like the idea of the travel part of it. I'm like, well, I can travel, and then I can also get the GI Bill so I can pay for school and be a doctor or whatever I wanted to be. And so that's how I kind of came into the military, was through not having those sports scholarships in my first plan. Everybody has a plan, right? So it was my
Mhm.
first. So that's how I ended up coming into the military. And then my dad told me everything I need to do through basic training and all of that. So once I entered the military, I kind of wanted to stay home, go close to home to my folks. But then, as the military does, they shake you up. So sent me to Turkey overseas. So that started my journey from there in the military. And so I was a medic, right? So med tech. Then had a lot of opportunities in the military. I had some great mentors that got me some
Mhm.
great assignments and opportunities throughout. And then I wanted to become a nurse. So I was like, well, after 8.5 years of being enlisted,
Mhm.
I then got out, went reserve, and then went to nursing school. So I went to nursing school, finished that up, and then I was like, well, I kind of want to get my commission. So then I got my commission, and became, registered nurse in the Air Force for the rest of my career. And so, yeah, retired as a major to 24 years. Had some wonderful experiences. Most of them were living overseas, and that kind of really opened my mind and
Mhm.
my sort of my view of a lot of things by travel. So I became a lover of travel. To this
Mhm.
day, I love to travel. I wish I was a millionaire so I can travel,
Yeah,
so
we're gonna speak that into existence so that way you can do that. Yes. Yes.
so yeah, so I was in the military, retired at 24. And then once I retired, I was like, okay, well, kind of get into things I want to do, right? I had a lot of hobbies. I'm always thinking about things to do. And so I was like, well, let me kind of figure out what I wanted to do. However, you're kind of in that sort of lane still. I was in my nursing lane. I still had that military energy. You first retire and everybody's like, oh, take your break. I didn't. Okay.
Mm.
First year after retiring, I got another nursing job and kept going. And because I felt I still had all this energy, right? And
Mhm.
so I was like, I'm not ready to just take a break,
Yeah.
and just sit at the house and relax for a year or two. Most people, take a break when they retire at the military, but I just didn't feel that. So I got a job and, kept my nursing going. And then after working that, after a couple of years, then I felt like, okay, I need to, it's time for me to chill out for a little bit. I had
Mhm.
a interesting working environment that I needed to step away from. And it was great because I was no longer active duty. I can do that. I can make my choices to step away from something, to start something new, and not have to wait.
Yes.
So yeah, so I took my retirement break, a
Mhm.
couple years delayed, but I
Mhm.
took my retirement break. And then that's when I figured out, okay, what do I want to do? And I always wanted to own property. I still own my first home down in San Antonio, so I knew I wanted to. that's my long game, right? To
Mm-hmm.
own property and all of that. So that was the first kind of business I started. I started an LLC so I can put my rental property underneath. And then that way I had that structure built so that I can buy more property,
Yeah.
and have it underneath there. And then my journey into At the Root um, became a brainchild of my sister and I. Shout out to my sister Ty.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really just spearheaded where I'm at now with At the Root. Um, Sorry, I can go on and on about it, but um,
Yeah.
it's a wonderful thing to be able to create something and share it. Now that I have extra time, not working in the military anymore. So yeah, I kind of I've always made things, I'm always crafty and I've always
Mm-hmm.
made stuff. And so when I was making hair products and skin products and all these things, and then I was sharing them with family and friends, and people would be like, you need to sell this, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I thought about it. And then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm making a little extra. I always make big batches of stuff, so why not? And so that's how At the Root came. Trying to make all natural products and sharing them.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
I
that's
love your journey. First of all, y'all, if you just didn't hear what I heard and what I know, okay, because when we were in Turkey, Japan, y'all, we were out there, okay, and we were doing our thing, and
Mhm.
it was it was good to be with other people who understood us, right? We had a group of us that hung out, and we were very tight knit. And when one was doing something, we would all go and make sure we would support that other person regardless of what it was, and we
Right.
would look out for one another. And that was the one thing that I really appreciated about our group. We really stuck together.
Mhm.
And then you went and you did this journey stint of like 8 years, and then you decided to go from enlisted to be commissioned.
Mhm.
And that's for those that are not familiar with the military structure. It's you're going from one group of individuals, if you will, to another set, but you both work together, but it's a different environment you
Yes.
know
Yeah.
and so when you decided to do that, I think a lot of us, who were still on the enlisted path were like, go Tamara, go, like, yes, and it was just so exciting to see and get you that opportunity to get in there and to really do, something else, which was becoming a nurse,
Yeah.
and you flew, right? You
Yeah.
did air for,
Yeah.
I don't know, y'all. And she was like one of the medics that would go on to the aircraft and pick up people that were sick, hurt, or injured,
Mhm.
and fly them to different locations
Mhm.
overseas.
Mhm.
And I was always a little jelly about that because I was like, look at them. They were in flight suits. They had different uniforms,
That was one of my best assignments. That's one of my best, and one of my mentors got me thinking in that direction. I never would have thought about doing that. And he was like, "You'll be good at this. You're gonna put your package in." You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And that's a sign of some people that you said, or you had some really great mentors, and that's the leadership that we talk about here on the show too,
Mhm.
is when we are mentored by people who see something in us and they want us to tap into some untapped potential, we're not living out to that. That's the beauty of leadership. I think there's so much power in leadership
Mhm.
when you do have someone who says, hey, I see you going places, I see you doing things bigger and better, that, and then it's like, then you do it to the people that you're
Yeah.
supervising, right?
Mhm.
And that you're leading. And in the military, is the Air Force, y'all, in the military in general, they teach us how to be leaders. Like, even if you don't want to be a leader, even if you don't got it in you,
Yeah.
They still make you,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
by virtue of your rank. So
you're gonna
whatever
do
rank you got, you know what I mean?
it. Hmm.
So I just want to congratulate you on just recognizing that there was another path, a journey for you, and that you went into that direction. You did 24 years of service in the United States Air Force, and now you are like doing all these things. And so before y'all, we were talking, about a little bit about the energy, the military energy,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
and we were talking about, hey, do a task, get it done,
Yeah.
get on to the next task.
Yep.
So it's a mindset shift when you retire from something that you've been doing for so long in such a structured and disciplined environment.
Hmm.
So, how have you been able to make that shift, if you will?
For me, it took time. I think that's the biggest thing was time and setting a new routine. And it takes
Mhm.
time to set a new routine. Like
Yeah.
I said, being in the military for so many years, you're just used to this way, right? And so it really did. It took time. And so I had to really sit down and number one, for like it was probably like a couple of weeks, I didn't do anything.
Mm.
I exercised, watched TV, read books, and just relaxed. Took a nap
Mm.
if I wanted to. You know, I just really need to set my mind down, to take it
Yeah.
out, set it down. And so then I was like, being in the military is structure, right? So I love checklists. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, here's what's going to be my new routine. Let me write down some things that I want to do, how I want to do them. And so that kind of helped me to change my mindset into the new path that I wanted to do. And then it kind of was overwhelming at first because I've never owned a business. I didn't know what to do,
Hmm.
still learning,
Yeah.
still learning. And so I was like overwhelmed at that at first, like, okay, well, I know I've always wanted to own a business because I want to not only do it for me, but I also want to show my daughter, right? I
Yeah.
want to show her, like I said, everything that I do is family focused. It's not just for me. It's to help others. I guess it's the nurturing part of being a nurse.
Yes.
You want to
Yes, it
help
is.
others, but
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to show my daughter that you can do these things too. You can own a business. You can be a millionaire if you want to. You don't have to follow some of these more traditional paths that our generation um, grew up with and we're told the things that we have to do. So I kind of wanted to see her, wanted to have her see me rather, um, just do something totally, a pivot, right? Just do a pivot. Mommy's a nurse. She's been doing all this stuff. Oh, now she's making hair oils and stuff like that. And, which is stuff that I've always used on her anyway. But now
Yeah.
she sees me turning into a business. And so I kind of really, right, Lex, kind of really
Hmm.
wanted to show her that sky's the limit, man. Like, and even if you don't know how to do something with the internet now and YouTube and all these things, you can learn. You can definitely learn, and local resources, right? I've
Hmm.
tapped into a lot of local resources here in Las Vegas that have really helped me on the business side. So I think after I got over that overwhelming sense of, okay, I want to do this, but how?
Yeah.
And then I didn't get scared of, well, I don't know how, so I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
So, I'm not the type of person. I'm going to be like, okay, that's my new task. Whoop.
Yep.
Now I got to go. Like, I
Yeah.
got to learn how to do this. I want to do this. So I moved that, I guess, energy into that. And so that became my new target. And I just jumped in. And that's how I kind of moved my energy. I guess I just replaced it from the military onto the business.
Yeah.
Um, and I took all those tools with me. And so all of those tools I learned in the military has helped me learn to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I can speak that for myself too. We have so many transferable skills
Hmm.
that we learned that sometimes we oversee or we are not quite sure of where it came from.
Mhm.
But when you talk about checklists, processes,
Yeah.
SOPs,
Mhm.
we are like highly proficient, okay,
Mhm.
in understanding what that all is. What we may not see ourselves as being where kind of like where everyone else is, kind of, well, some folks have been running their business while we've been in the military,
Yeah.
doing what we were doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're not starting from scratch. We are starting from
Mm.
experience.
Yeah.
And so taking that and using it, and I love when you say you're doing this shift, this mental shift of I don't always have to be on. I don't
Mhm.
always have to be running hard in the paint,
Mhm.
just because I was doing that in the military. Now
Mhm.
there are times as an entrepreneur that you got to do a little hustle. Okay.
Yes.
Like there's a little bit about that, but
Mhm.
now we get to we get to do it at a different pace,
Mhm.
than we were from when we were in the military,
Mhm.
because we are the people who are now in control,
Right.
right?
Yep. I can
We
do
don't.
this. I can start and stop when I want. And yeah,
Yep.
and it's totally what I want to do, all of my interests now,
Yeah.
and it's interesting because when you, oh, well, for me, speaking for myself,
Yeah.
when I retired, like I had so many things I always thought about I want to do. I would love to do this. I would love to try this. I would love to go here or go, or, go there. But we just never had the time. And so all of those things come flooding to you. And so I had to sort of choose. Like to this day, I still have ideas on a lot of stuff I'm playing catch up with. Oh, yeah, I always wanted to do this and do that. But it is important to relax for a second because as entrepreneurs, we can run ourselves into the ground, with all of the checklists and all the things that we need to do. And yeah, a good majority of the time we're on. The
Mm-hmm.
switch is on, and we're always thinking about the to-do list. I still have my checklist, and I'm still going on it, adding to it because it never ends.
Yeah.
And so, but I do think that in order to have longevity and to
Yes.
also love what you want to do, the stuff that I make, I want to love to make it.
Yes.
I don't want it to be a business that I just, oh God, now I got to make this, gotta put this in there. I don't want to ever be like that. And so it's my happy space to get in there and mix stuff up and do all my formula calculations and, be a nerd for a second, percentages and all this stuff. But I love to do it. And so for me to continue to love to do it, I need to make myself. Now I can go nonstop all day, every day. I have to make myself sit down.
Yeah.
And even if it's just for a little bit, just make myself sit down for a second, recharge the battery so that I can keep going. And so that's kind of how I've been working lately. At first, when you're first starting a business, like I was on 24/7 every day because I
Mm-hmm.
was learning, right? Learning, I was making stuff. I had products and ingredients everywhere, trying to hone down what I wanted to share with the world. But after a while, I was like, okay, let me just, you can take a couple hours and break. You can take a nap sometimes. You can, it's okay to go travel and go have a day to relax for a second. And so that's what I found that has really re energized me so that I can keep loving, and doing
Yeah.
it. Folks, yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Mhm.
And I'm like you. I can go on. I'm the Energizer bunny that, you got to take the battery all the way out, or else,
Sure.
I'm on
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. And thank God for Dominique, because he schedules, some mini vacays and,
Mhm.
things for us to do. And he'll say, hey, that laptop, like, just close it and just step away from it for a
Mhm.
minute, because all that you putting in, you're going to feel like you can't do it one day, and then this is what you really want to do. You still, like when you say you still want to love the thing,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're doing.
Mhm.
And so you do have to step back and ask yourself, have I gotten a break? How am I feeling? What is my energy level?
Yeah.
It's my family telling me that they see me working hard
Mhm.
and they want to
Ken
spend some
tells me to log off. He'll be like,
yeah.
"What time is it? We're done." Okay. I gotta set it down.
We're done.
He
And
says we're done. I'm done for the day.
oh my gosh. Okay, so Chevy. So thank you for coming and joining us, Chevy. Chevy's my accountability partner, and she's retired Air Force Two, a
Hi,
veteran.
Chevy.
So hook. He says, my youngest just told me that she has too much energy and she has to release it after I told her to bring it down a little in the car. It's you
Yeah.
know, again, I think it's one of the, again, a trait from the military. I don't know. I can't speak for, other people, but I know for us in the military, if you sat down, you were considered lazy. Okay. If you're sitting around and
Mm-hmm.
you're not contributing in some form or fashion to do
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting the job done.
Yeah.
All right. And so, it starts from basic training. Hurry up and wait. Hurry
Yep.
up and wait.
Yep.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the mindset. You go into, you're not moving fast enough. You're not
Go,
doing
go,
enough.
go. Mm-hmm. Go, go,
So
go. Mm-hmm.
that's why people get sick
Yeah.
and they end up, not really enjoying their retirement life and having quality of life because they automatically stop. It just comes to a halt just right after you retire. And
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, oh no, like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just happy that we found something
Yeah.
that can help us during the transition and to allow us to be free to kind of move like we want to and have some options out here.
Yeah.
All right. So Chevy also said in the comments here, we are in control to start and stop with anything that we want to do.
Yeah.
And that I think I stopped working for a contract job because I was like, this is not really where I want to go. This is
Mhm.
not the direction that I feel like I need to go at this time. It's the season is for me to do something else.
Right.
So I know we were also talking about, like your wellness, and kind of how that has affected the way that carry on about what you do in your day.
Yeah.
So, can you share with the audience a little bit about some of your health and how it has, I wouldn't say it stopped you from doing it, it's just kind of a wake up call.
Yeah. So coming, I guess, from the military, I had high blood pressure. So that was
Yeah.
one thing. Um, that, and then of course, the eyesight, so, but I think it's the stress level that, kind of we were under. And then again, when I retired, I still had that energy, right? So still was going, going, going. So my body was just riding, just high octane. And so yeah, I had some health problems. And so that's another reason why I was like, okay, I need to bring it down. I need to relax a little bit. I need to find some things that are my happy place. So in addition to making stuff, I like started a garden, because I'm kind of a sort of a mother nature type of person too.
She
So
is, y'all.
I like to ground and earth and
She sure
hug
does.
trees
And I
and
don't.
and all of that, of incense and herbs and all this type of stuff.
Mhm.
And so I started a garden, and I was like, okay, I need to get my hands in some earth and ground and watch things grow and and I found that I love it. Now, I'm a third year gardener, everybody, and my first year I killed everything. So I am not a green thumb. It has been a process in the making.
Oh.
And, RIP to a lot of the plants that I tried to grow. And even my daughter was like, "You're a plant murderer." And so, but each year I'm learning, and each year, like, I'm having so much fun with it. And so I found that doing things like that, like Ken put us in a bowling league. I don't
Oh,
bowl. And so here we are in a league, and he's been bowling since he was little.
yeah.
So here I am in a bowling league, and I'm like, I don't even bowl like that. But it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. And so with stuff like that, that kind of brought everything down, and I was less stressed. And I'm still paying attention to my going to my doctor's appointments, and getting a plan. And I had to change my eating lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle, it's not a diet.
That's right.
Changing my eating lifestyle. I'm into a little bit more yoga and all that type of stuff. So I kind of had to, again, when I did my pause,
Mm-hmm.
I had to say, okay, what are some other things I need to bring some of these health issues? Because nobody wants to feel bad physically. Nobody wants to be on medications if they don't have to, you
That's
know.
right.
And so, and also, being a nurse, I noticed some of the things that I've had, to take, like my high blood pressure, for instance. I want to come off of that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So what I can control that, you know. So I sprung into action and was like, okay, diet, lifestyle change, got to get some more exercise going, got to bring stress down, So I kind of made a plan, and now it's developed over the last, couple of years, um, but I'm happy with the direction I'm going, and I'm able to see now a physical change with some things that are being alleviated because I've changed some of these things about my lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
We are in the same boat or situation, if you will, because I was diagnosed with high blood pressure when we were actually in Turkey.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's always a condition that I'm always looking to figure out how to best manage it. And
Mhm.
for me, it's diet and exercise.
Yep.
It's these are things that I must do. So when I retired from the military, it didn't for me. I knew because I had been doing it before that
Mhm.
it was important, even more important, for me to do it after. Like I'm 50, I'll be
You were working
52.
out hard in the military. Like you're an inspiration. Okay. Like
I'm telling you.
I remember teaching aerobics and I mean all kind of stuff. I was like, man, like, if I had half the energy, I probably would be in a different place today. So I
Girl,
remember you were
I
going
was just
hard in the paint
going
with the
hard. I
exercise.
was
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
I am not trying to be out here because I had struggled with my weight and I wanted to make sure that was one thing that wasn't going to prevent me from moving forward in my career. And
Mhm.
once I really started to really love it, because that's what happened. It's like I really love working out. So I was like,
Mhm.
but when you retire, sometimes, we let things go to the sideline because, we had to do it when we were in the military. And
Yeah.
now you're in retirement. I think it's even more important. It's a necessity
Yeah.
because most of us are pushing 50.
Mhm.
I'll be 52 in next month. So
Mhm.
it's just understanding that our health is so important. If we want to go out and do all these things, because people tell me all the time, oh, I want to go and start a business like you. Oh, I want to write a book like you. They want to do all these things. I say, you got to have energy.
Yeah.
You got to be feeling good. You can't just be showing up and you talking about you want to be on stage speaking. You got to have a level of I don't even know. I guess I'll just keep saying I guess confidence. Really, you have a level of confidence that you have done what you needed to do,
Yeah.
so that way you can serve others as
Mhm.
best as you possibly can.
Yeah.
So I understand like health and what we need to be doing with our health. It is so important, especially for Black women. I don't know about any, but because I know the statistics
Yeah.
for Black women is very high when it comes to like maternal,
Yeah.
high blood pressure, diabetes,
Yeah.
strokes,
Yeah.
so
Hypertension, all of that. Yeah.
yeah, we have to really be paying attention to it. And as we both have 14-year-olds.
Mhm.
So listen, y'all, we lost track of one another when we were in the military until we got, I think I was at Langley, and then we
Mhm.
started to reconnect.
Mhm.
And then, as life be lifing,
Yeah.
but understanding that we got young ones
Mhm.
still in our homes.
Yeah.
Everyone else has got like kids
Yeah.
off to college and getting ready to get
No.
married.
No. Freshman coming up this year.
I know, that's what I
Still
said.
going.
pray for us, y'all. We got these 14-year-olds in here. Of course, hers is a girl, mine's a boy.
Mhm.
And that changes. I think that too changes the way that you move and navigate. So like you said, you want to be doing things, if you will, or showing your daughter
Mhm.
that there are different ways that you can build legacy and wealth and all these other, kind of pathways.
Mhm.
So, you know, as she's kind of getting into her own, because, I know my son is getting into his own,
Oh yeah.
um, you know, it's funny how when you look back before you had your daughter and
Mhm.
now looking at today,
Mhm.
like how much of a difference it has changed the way that you are as a parent as a whole.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
We both have these babies now. I was just
Yeah.
like, we
Yeah.
having babies?
Yeah. And and having kiddos, as folks would say, a little bit older or a little bit later.
Yeah,
I was 33.
yeah.
And so I think that all of the stuff that had happened prior to all the life experiences and things of that nature, yeah, when she was born, it's a shift altogether with having to take care of another human being,
Oh yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
everything that you do from then out on affects them
Mm-hmm.
directly and indirectly, and so yeah, everything is her. Like, what can I do? Like some of the stuff that I started with at the root was for her, for because
Mm-hmm.
she had a couple of skin conditions, and being a parent, you obsess. I gotta fix it. I gotta fix
Mm-hmm.
this. I gotta fix that. What's going on? Go to the doctor. Okay, gotta fix. Well, I can make a cream for that, and and so that's how kind of I started with making a lot of the stuff. And so yeah, it everything is about wellness and health, and then you want to look at yourself, and you're like, okay, I want to be around,
Mm-hmm.
and I want not only be around, but I want to be mobile. I want to be
Mm.
able to do some of these things and not be, oh well, baby, I can't do this. Now I have my days where I'm tired. I'm like, oh, hold on, my back hurts, give me a second,
Yeah.
but by and large, I want to be able to feel good so that I can interact. She's 14, so
Yeah.
she's coming into a lot of things, and then being with us in the military, she's traveled right along with us. Even on vacation, she was right there with us, and so I want to be able to have that, keep that energy,
Yeah.
up. She's like, Mom, when are we gonna go over here again? We're gonna go over there again. And so I'm like, yeah, I got to make sure I'm good to go,
Yeah.
so that we can continue to move on. And she doesn't feel like she has a parent that's just broke down and and can't do anything, because I want to be able to guide her through a lot of this stuff. And so I do need to be well, and you'd be surprised at how your kids watch you.
Oh
They
yes.
watch, they listen, and they learn. They may not always tell you, oh yeah, you remember mom when you said this or that, but you see it in their actions,
Yeah.
and they start doing some of the things, and or they may talk about it and you're like, oh, they're okay, this actually are listening, so
Yeah.
I need to do the right thing so
Mhm.
that she learns what the right thing is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm definitely seeing, the what do you call it? There's reciprocation of our behavior in AJ, and he's very mature for his age.
Hmm.
He's, around us, we older, so we talking
Yeah.
grown conversations. And so, he's picking that up, and
Hmm.
he shares with us that, sometimes his, friends, they're not in the same kind of family circumstances, if you will,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so we're also doing our best to make sure that he has a life where he can actually learn lessons with us before he actually learns those lessons
Yep.
kind of in a hard way. It's like, hey, and he listens.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think that it does change you, especially if you have a child later in life, like some of us do.
Hmm.
And then the foundation, the basis of your business is because she had a skin condition that you were trying to fix.
Hmm.
And now it's into this business where you're, helping others who are having problems with their skin. So kind of share with us kind of some of your products and, what
Yeah.
you offer.
So I started out with skincare. So, body butters, just moisturizers at first, because that was the one thing that I needed to create, for my daughter. So, but I tell you, my little hippie phase,
Oh, we
my
all got it.
my mother nature. I would read labels and I didn't like any of the ingredients or didn't even know what some of the ingredients were. And I would
Mm,
look at these jars and I'm like, what is this? Number one, I got to pronounce it. So
mhm,
what is it? And so I was like, I want something that's all natural. I don't want any synthetic, anything. And so, yeah, I started with moisturizer, so body butters. I made a healing salve. And
mm,
so what I do is I I love herbs, so I infuse herbs because why not get the botanical essence? As you're using these things, the earth has what you need, which at the root. Okay, so my motto, or of the business is where it begins. It begins
mm,
at the root, right? And that can be applied to beyond body care products. Like at the root, like I had to set my mind down after retiring from the military and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I had to go down to at the root, to the basic foundation, and figure out and build from there. So
mm.
um, yeah, I started with moisturizers, healing salves, because sometimes we'll have rashes or eczema, special skin conditions. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make something for that. So I made a healing salve for that, and then I went into moisturizer. So how I kind of do things is, or facial creams. I meant to say. So how I do things is, if I run out of something I bought at the store, and
Yeah.
I can make that, and I
Oh,
can make it all natural. So then I made a face cream, and I'm using face moisturizer I bought, and I'm like, I can make this, and I can make it in my mind better, or just all natural. So
yeah.
face cream, and then I got into hair, because some of my markets, because I do some of the local farmers markets and craft shows here in Las Vegas, I would get asked about my hair.
Yeah.
So, do you make hair oil? Do you make, and then I was like, not yet, but I've always made stuff for myself, and my
Mhm.
family. And so that was a pivot moment. I'm like, okay, I'm getting asked a lot, getting a lot of compliments on my hair. Some women want to go natural. They don't know kind of, what they should use, or they don't want to buy the stuff, in the stores. They love
Yeah.
the all natural piece of it. And so I started just making more of the hair products that I make, um, for myself, and kind of, yeah. So I make hair oil, hair tea, and I slowly are bringing on more products. Like I'm developing a face wash now, and so I kind of had to pace myself with the business because I have so many ideas,
Oh,
and
yeah. We all
so
do.
many ideas of what I want to make. So many things I still make, but I just haven't put it out for the business. And so, but you have to pace yourself. So that's the main thing with me is I need to pace myself. I need to start with some things, work with it for a while. And like with the body butter, kind of saturated market. And so that kind of made my pivot towards some of the other things that I make, the facial stuff and the hair stuff, because I started seeing and getting asked for these things when I'm out meeting and talking with people. And so
Yeah.
I got inspiration from my clients, and so that kind of pushed me into making some other things, being asked, for help for some stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of few products that I have right now, and then always have ideas of what I'm going to bring out next. And so I want to have a full complement of body care products that are all natural. So when you are using these things, you don't have to worry about, what is that? Or, how is that going to affect me? Is that synthetic? Am
Hmm.
I going to, break out, that type of stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of where I am in the journey of that.
Yeah, I love that.
Where it
I
be
love that
at.
because y'all, she's got such beautiful hair. It's
Thank
thick.
you.
It's healthy. I'm serious. This is that hair that you be wanting to have, and you just be like, I don't know why my hair just can't do right. All right,
And my daughter's hair is bigger than mine, like thick, strong. And so, yeah, I got to make sure I have some good products so that her hair stays healthy.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's so important. And I also wanted to ask you about your real estate. You said you're a real estate agent as well,
Real estate
or an
investor. Yeah.
investor.
So I want to, like I said, that's kind of the longer game. I don't know. I enjoy owning property, which I think is very important, you know, um, to be able to own something, whether it be property, land, so I definitely got into that. And so right now I just want to buy properties and keep them underneath as a rental portfolio, and then move into like multi complexes and stuff like that. So still in the bottom, or early, not to say
Yeah,
bottom, but
yeah, yeah.
early
Early.
stages
Mm-hmm.
of it. And so kind of working with, I have a team of trying to find properties and sort of buy them up. And I think that it's important too with owning properties to give someone who may not, who wants to rent or may not be able to afford a mortgage, to be able to have a nice place to live. And so that's kind of one of my goals in being in real estate is I want to have a nice portfolio of homes. And I we keep things up,
Yeah,
we keep things, up and together. And having experiences previously with landlords in my past, I'm like, nah, I think that it's a twofold thing. I'll own property so that I'll kind of help, and then I can pass these things down again, so to my family, to my daughter, and then also to all of my tenants. They get a place that I care about, and they don't have to worry about having to be in a home that is going to be neglected.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. I
Mhm.
think that's so important. Again, that's generational wealth. That's legacy building.
Mhm.
Things that will be sustainable for a long time.
Yes,
So I
owning
love
is very important. Is
Yeah,
so important. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I and only because I think when we had AJ, it changed a lot about how we felt about money, right? And
Yeah.
how we felt about, what is his future going to look like, as opposed to just being us.
Yeah.
Um, and the
Mhm.
way, we can work our finances to where they don't have to work so hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
and you're right, these traditional jobs, 9 to 5s, that said, well, when you go to college, all right,
Mhm.
and or in the military, if you don't go to either one of those, it's like
Yep.
a bad child, right? And
Mhm.
then it's like they just break you out.
Yep.
They don't even want to have nothing to do with you because that is not the path. All
Yeah.
right. And then when you want to become an entrepreneur, that's way out there. That's
Mhm.
like, no, that's
Mhm.
not something that you can do anything from. And
Mhm.
so we're, changing the trajectory of how it's supposed to look like. And I think
Yeah.
that's so good, that we both are on the same journey. We're both like, military veterans who are very close, who are, you know, again, she's in all of our pictures for our wedding, y'all. Okay. So it's just good to see you thriving
Mhm.
um in retirement, and doing all these different things that you wanted to do, and exploring. I
Yeah,
think that's just to be just explore
it's fun.
something that you may not feel like, oh well, I'm not, not sure what I want to do. Just try something.
Yeah.
Just try things. You don't
You
know
know,
what
my
it's going
my
to be.
dad used to tell me that just make a step in a direction. Like people
Hmm.
get stuck with all these options and they get, paralyzed. Oh, I don't know what to do. I can do this, this, or this. And so my dad used to always tell me, make a step in any direction, move. Now, that direction may not be your what you want. You may go
Yeah,
down that road and be like, but you can
yeah,
pivot and find something else to do. But you got to make a step in a direction.
yeah,
And so I think that's a large takeaway is kind of get stuck on something, just make a decision.
yeah,
At least you're moving, and then you can pivot and rearrange and stuff, on along the way.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Just keep it moving, y'all. Keeping
Keep
it
it moving.
moving. Keeping it moving. All
Keep it
right.
moving. Yeah.
So I know we're coming up to an hour,
Yeah.
and I know, like every guest I got on here, y'all know that we can go on here for hours and hours and hours and
Mhm.
hours. All right,
Mhm.
but I do want to ask you a question before we leave for tonight that I ask all my guests is at your 80th birthday party, and you got your family and your friends just around.
Hmm.
What are they gonna say about Tamara Brown?
Oh
What do
my
you want them to be saying about you, girl?
goodness. I want them to say that I always had their best interest at heart, that I was a go getter,
Mhm.
I made a way, I loved everyone, I cared for everyone, and wow, that I'm a example, can use me as an example that you can do so many things if you put your mind to it,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Yeah, sometimes I have to think back to like that because I want to make sure that when that happens for me, if God blesses me with those many years, that I'm actually doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it just to be a bunch of words. I
Mhm.
want people to actually say that that's what they saw in me.
Yeah.
So, and most of the people that, come on the show, there's in the same way. Like, we're always striving to, have people see us in a way where it's positive, where
Right.
it's something that we made a difference.
Yeah.
We didn't just live on this earth
Hmm.
just doing, all
Hmm.
right? And it keeps us,
Purpose.
I know it keeps me accountable. I'm like, now come
Yeah.
on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You got people looking at you. You got
yeah,
people depending
yeah,
on you, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
you gotta get your act together. All
You got to
right.
do it.
So
Yeah. Live your
um
purpose.
yeah.
Own your
And I
purpose
think,
and live it.
yeah, and being in your calling and your purpose,
Hmm.
um and I don't know, but for me, when I think about that, I don't think it's true that people don't have a purpose.
Hmm.
I think everybody on this earth has a
Yep.
purpose.
Yep.
It's just tapping into it and allowing you to be, you know, um, in that in the mindset that the things that were like nudging at you for so long that you saw that you could do, like you just need to just try.
Yeah.
Just try. You never know what it'll end up to be. You don't know
Take that
where you're
step.
going to be at,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. Take that step in a direction, and it'll be revealed to you on what
Yeah.
you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so I got two things in here. So first of all, what's your link to your products?
Oh, so my website is www.att
Yep. Uh-huh.
root.com.
Uh-huh. Okay. For those that are looking out for her products, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Go ahead and go to this website, plug it in. You'll see all the things that she is offering, all natural products. All right. So that way you can experience them and try them out and give her some, some love and support.
Yep.
And then,
Support feedback. Yep. Mhm.
yes, because,
Yeah, I
I'm
appreciate
about to be on there too. Because I'm like, my baby need to have Buddy Bar and all that stuff.
it. I appreciate the support. I do.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
just love it. I just love my sister from another mister is just doing her thing.
Mhm.
And then Leslie was like, if you have the courage to go after it. See,
Mhm.
see, that's
Hmm.
that's it.
Yeah.
She says some people talk about it but never fire.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I and again, we can spend a few minutes on this. I think for me, when we look back at all the things that have happened in our career. Now, I know I was in some dangerous situations as you were as well, and I didn't see it as being courage at that point. I was just doing my job. I'm like, I ain't got the uniform on. If I don't go show up, I'm going to be AWOL and they're going to kick me out. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to that point,
Mhm.
right? So you're not really thinking about it. But to even have the courage to put on a uniform, I think that's number one,
Mhm.
because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had no idea what it called for it to be
Mm.
in the uniform.
Mm.
All right. That's pretty much saying you're going to lay your life and you're going to be willing to die for your country. That's
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Two, when you retire from such a long career of just doing the same thing day in, day out,
Mhm.
and then think about, well, what's in the next?
Mhm.
Not too many people are doing
Yeah.
that. You know what I
And
mean?
that applies to any career that you've been in for a long time, right?
Yes, yes.
And you just been on that path, for however many years, 20 plus or whatever, 10,
Yeah.
20 doesn't matter. Yeah, you are like, okay, where do I go from here? And how this is all I've known,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be a little difficult you want to do some stuff over here, but you've always been here. And so it is, it takes courage to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to break away from my norm, and we talk about um, being uncomfortable,
Yeah.
right? Getting out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
right? And so a lot of that is getting out of your comfort zone, especially if you're something, like you said, something is nagging at you, like, I really feel I need to be doing this,
Yeah.
you have to come out of your comfort zone and push yourself, because you don't know what lies ahead. You really don't know until you try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you only got one shot at this.
Yeah. One life. We're not cats.
I don't even know if cats have 9 lives. I'm like, I don't even know that saying. I'm confused. I don't know. Okay, Leslie says absolutely people retire and think that it is, but but was it your purpose?
Hmm.
All right. As Slay said, we all have a purpose, and usually a job is not part of the purpose. God promise is always there. We just have to go get it.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Your
It's
job
funny
is.
how life is, the
Mhm.
way we look at life, the way that we, understand life. Sometimes it's so easy to think so hard and it gets very complex and complicated
Mhm.
when it's as simple as, hey, for me is what wakes me up and gets me going in the
Mhm.
morning, what makes me smile, what makes me glow, what makes me do the things that I do so effortlessly without even getting paid for it. Like, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like money will come, but I could do this all day if they said money did not exist in the world.
Hmm.
What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want to be doing?
Hmm.
And I think that's the part that, some people haven't really tapped in to just yet. And again, it's exploration. This is the time that you get to be able to do that if you've any transition. It doesn't matter to be military, any transition that
Hmm.
you're going through.
Hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. You can do it. You know,
Yeah.
just like I said, just got to step out there and see. You won't know. You
Yeah.
know, it's like you don't always say in the lottery you can't win if you don't play.
Yeah. That's so true. I ain't winning because I'm not playing. So I already know that. I'm not playing, so I ain't expecting to win. Now Dominique's playing, so I don't play like that.
Mhm.
Okay, y'all. Well, it is top of the hour. Tamara, thank you so much for being with me tonight. I was so excited that you were going to be my guest, and this is
Yes.
just an easy conversation,
Yeah,
catching
just talking.
up, sister
Just talking.
time up
Yeah.
in here. All
That's all.
right. And Leslie, Enrique, Chevy, thank you so much for being here with us live.
Yes,
And
thank
if you,
you.
I know they came and they were even the Olympics going on, and
I
it's a lot
appreciate
going
that.
on.
Yeah,
We
that's
appreciate
awesome.
y'all. All right.
Absolutely.
One of my lights came out, y'all, because Dominique is into this. It's not battery op. Oh, well, it's batteries. Something's I don't know. So I was like, the show is going to continue on,
Yep.
and we're going to charge this thing up for next week. But
Mhm.
it is what that
It's all
is.
good. It doesn't stop anything. It
It
does
don't
not
stop
stop
nothing.
anything. Hmm.
Um, but we will be back here next week, y'all, for another guest that um, also has a lot of interesting twists and turns, have gotten her to a certain point in her life. And she is doing something very phenomenal. And I know you all will enjoy her. So come on back next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Slay Amazing conversation. Tamara, thank you so much again for being our guest. Is there any last words that you
I
want to
want to thank
share?
you. I want to thank you. I love what you're doing. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. I celebrate you. And, this is just fantastic. And I love what you're doing. And thank you to all the guests that have joined us. I appreciate support for both of us. Thank you.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. That means a lot to me. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so y'all just know that we are in here. We in this for the long haul. Okay? We ain't going nowhere. So, come on back and keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. And we will see you all next week. Thank you so much. We love
Mhm.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.